Hey guys, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name is Nicole, and I'm a person in long term recovery. My sobriety date is July 13th of 2015. So, we were on TikTok, and I was like sharing in stories about my addiction, how I got sober. Hey Tasha. So I thought what I would do is I would come back on here and hey Tasha, I made you a moderator. Cece, I made you a moderator, okay? Um, hey Ryan, I thought I would come on here and share with you guys. Where, okay, I get this question a lot. People ask me, like, um, you know, why did you start shooting up? What was the worst part of your addiction? Um, how did you get sober? And so, like, I'm going to be sharing with you guys tonight and answering those questions. Hey Marcella, if you guys have questions, please put them in the comment section because I'm going to be answering them as we talk, okay? So, all questions, you can ask me any questions, nothing is off limits. Um, I'm an open book and I love sharing my life, so bring it on, okay? So, first of all, how did my addiction start? Okay, how did my addiction start? Well, my addiction started when I was young, okay? I can remember being a little girl and always feeling like I was not like everybody else. I always felt like I was less than. I wasn't as good as they were. I wasn't as pretty as they were. Um, I wasn't as skinny as they were. I always felt that I wasn't quite like everyone else. So growing up and feeling like that all the time, I was always searching for something outside of myself, right? Even as a little girl, okay? Um, it started out as a little girl with food, okay? So I could eat food, and food made me feel good. Food gave me relief. And so I started out overeating at a young age. And food made me feel powerful. It gave me energy. It gave me a euphoria, right? A release. And so at a young age, that was starting to kind of play a role in my life. But I actually was, my dad, hey Goose, my dad was very, hey Misunderstood, my dad was very, like self-aware. He would talk about his weight all the time because my dad was a bodybuilder when I was growing up. My dad competed in like competitions and stuff. And so if I was overweight, he would point it out to me. And that kind of is why I have such a hard time with my weight now, and because I've always just had such a struggle with, like, either I'll eat way too much and binge or I won't eat enough. It's like one extreme to the next. So anyway, so I was already having that struggle when I was a little girl. By the time I was 17 years old, I was hanging out. I was cool. I was pretty popular for, 17-year-old. I was on the dance team. I was also played fast pitch softball, and I was also on the marching band. And I was super involved in extracurricular activities. Like, I was just doing so much, right? Well, I met this guy when I was 16 and a half, and we started dating when I was 17. His name was Robert. Now, Robert was about 1 year older than me. So when I was 17, he was 18. When I was a junior in high school, he was a senior in high school. So when I started dating him, he introduced me to marijuana and alcohol. See, I had never drank or smoked before until I met him. Once I started drinking and smoking, I was like, this is where it's at. You know what I mean? Like, drinking and smoking, I could do this, you know, all the time. I loved it. I loved to feel like that. I loved to feel that high feeling. I love to feel out of control. I liked the way it made me feel because it didn't make me feel out of control. It made me feel relief. Okay. So once I started smoking and drinking, it just became like evident, like that I was going to be a party girl. And that's what I started doing. I turned into your ultimate teenage party girl. I would go to all the parties after the football games. I would hang out with all the people that were getting fucked up at the cake parties. Like I was right there in the middle of every teenager party, right? And so that's how my addiction began. Okay, it began in high school with weight issues and insecurity. I also had a stint with medication that I was prescribed, and that kind of was a struggle. Um, but it really, really started with the alcohol and the marijuana, and then I got into stimulants after that. So, if y'all have any questions, go ahead and ask. Now, my addiction progressed pretty quickly after I started drinking and smoking. I went from drinking and smoking to doing cocaine to doing methamphetamine to doing benzos and doing opiates. Um, I remember the first time I ever took opiates, I actually had just gotten my wisdom teeth pulled out. No, my mom had gotten her wisdom teeth pulled out. I found her Percocets in the medicine cabinet, and I took those just because I wanted to take them because I found them and I knew that they were something good. And I took them, and they made me feel good, and I was like, woohoo! Then when I got my wisdom teeth pulled out, I knew what I was going to get, and I took them, and my first prescription way fast. And then the doctor called me in one more, and I was like, chicka, chicka, cha, you know. But opiates didn't become like a really bad problem for me until after I got out of prison. The bulk of my addiction was to methamphetamine. So, um, methamphetamine, you guys, it was like the perfect drug for me. Methamphetamine gave me energy. It made me not hungry. It made me feel confident. Like I stayed skinny. Like I really, really liked being on it because I felt like it gave me everything I needed. Everything that I lacked, it gave me. Um, and so that is how my addiction started. And it just progressed. It got worse and worse and worse and worse over the span of those years. When me and my boyfriend Robert broke up, um, I went through a really, really hard time that year. I was single for a year, and then I met my boyfriend LD. And when I got into a relationship with LD, that's when I started to use benzos and opiates also. And so during our relationship, we were eating like Xanaxes and methadone. And back then, you guys, I did not realize how methadone and Xanax was. So I was just popping them like they were going out of style. You know? Yes, Brandy. Yes. Yes. Um, Also, I can look back on my addiction and I can see like where like I used opiates as like a depression drug, and I would use meth as like a up drug, you know what I mean? So like when I was having a bad day or I was upset, like I would take a bunch of pills and just stay in my bed and not to talk to anybody. And when me and LD finally broke up because I was sharing with everybody on TikTok, he would beat me. He was very abusive to me. I mean, it was horrible, the things that he did to me. He treated me like a straight up dog. And when I tell you guys, like, I was a good girlfriend. Like, I took care of this dude. I did everything for him. I helped him find a job. I gave him a place to live. I let him drive my car. I paid off his fines and his fees. Like, this dude was fucking worthless, dude. Worthless. Um, and you know what? He ended up getting what he got everything that he deserved back in his life too. He's dead now. But that relationship did me in. That relationship made me so depressed, you guys, because after being with somebody who beats your ass every day, you start to believe that you deserve it. You know what I mean? And that's what happened to me. Like, I started to believe that I deserved to have my ass beat. Um, and it took me many years to heal after that, y'all, to where I am now, and I have my husband, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that I don't deserve to get my ass beat. You know what I mean? Um, y'all have any questions? Y'all, because that helps. When you guys ask questions, it helps me to keep the story going. So, after, um, that's what people don't understand about domestic violence relationships. There is so much toxicity that goes into it. Yes. Hey, Misty, that's absolutely right, Marcella. It was horrible. And, we were using, and we were using in drugs and alcohol together, and it was, you guys, he, the last time he beat me so bad. I was telling everybody on the last live that my head was swole like an alien head. My mom said when she answered the door, she didn't recognize who I was because my head was so swollen from him beating my head into the concrete in the garage at his boss's house. I remember he hit me so hard that I pissed on myself and passed out. He knocked me out. Um, this dude would totally black out and just beat me. Um, I didn't deserve that. I was a good woman. I took care of his dumbass. I'm writing down like I'm gonna make a. So I've been making these day in the life videos on TikTok, and I'm gonna make a day in the life of an abusive relationship. Um, yes, Misty, your story is so similar to mine. I always felt like something was missing. Then once I started getting high and drinking, all that disappeared. Yeah, totally, totally. But it disappeared at the beginning. But then what happens, Tasha, is after years of doing it, it stops working. And so all the stuff that you were like pushing down with the drugs and alcohol, all of it starts coming back up to the surface. And then it's no longer working. And you're like, wait a second, like, why am I even doing this if it's not working anymore? You know, um, so yeah. Hold on, you guys. I'm writing down different stuff I'm going to make these videos about. So I'm going to make one about broken promises where we say we're going to get sober and we try to get sober and then we go back out. I'm going to make that one for the a day in the life of a drug addict videos. So anyways, the beginning. It didn't last that long until wasn't fun anymore. Then I'd move on to another drug. Yep. Um, so after me and LD broke up, and he left me, I was just wiling out, you guys. I was wiling out. I was just trying to escape any kind of feelings that I had. I felt so worthless and broken. I felt like nobody would ever love me. I'm sorry that I play with my hair so much, you guys. It's just a nerve. It's just like a habit I have. Um, I felt like nobody would love me ever again. Um, I felt unworthy of love and attention. I've always done it, and people on my channel hate that I do that. They say stuff. Some people say stuff to me. Not, and most people don't, but some people do. Um, I'm trying to think. There was a turning point in my addiction where, um, like, it just got so bad that it was like nothing I had ever been through before. It was when I was injecting, and I had just gotten to a point where, like, I remember I was living in Little Rock, and I was basically just hopping from house to house. I had no place to live. I had my car still, but I had no place to live. And so I would stay at Mr. Lawrence's house, and then I would stay at my friend Tonya's house, and then I would stay at my friend Some customer from Kroger that I met that day, I would stay at their house on their couch. Can you believe that? Because I had nowhere to live. Um, I sleep in my car. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, how could I live like that and think that that was okay? But it was because I was so desperate to get drugs and to keep drugs in my body that I would um, sacrifice having a place to live because that's how much I needed the. And at that time, I was bad off on the Roxy's. Um, so my addiction just kept progressing um, and getting worse and worse and worse over the years until it was at its worst when I got pregnant and had Nathaniel. And after giving birth to Nathaniel, that's when all the guilt and shame, it's like ate me alive every day. Every single day, I would think about what a terrible person I was because I was using drugs and I had a child. And I hated myself for it. I hated myself. Hey, Jay, what's up, baby? Is that Jerry? Um, I hated myself, you guys, for that shit. God, I'm hot. So, what else y'all want? Ask me some questions. Tell me. I know I got some new viewers in here, so ask me something good. Um, Let me think of another day in the life of a drug addict that I can do. Oh, I know. Waking up sick. Yes, girl. Hey, antisocial. Uh, uh, what are my coping mechanisms? Well, I have a lot of them actually. Um, One of my main coping mechanism is talking about what I'm going through. Okay. When I am struggling and I feel like there's no way out, no way in sight, I get on and I talk to people. I come on here and I share. I call my friends and I share. I talk to my husband. I talk to my parents. Like, I do not keep anything inside. No, you won't stop taking your Subutex. You just get the shot. Um, I Oh yeah, I I really do utilize my support system. Another way that I cope with life on life's terms is by journaling, praying, meditating. Um, I've gotten to a point in my life, you guys, where I process things. Like, I think about the pros and the cons of situations. I look at like how far I've come in life and I say, you know what? I don't want to go out and use. I don't want to lose my sobriety. I've worked too hard to get to where I'm at. You know what I mean? Why would I throw all this away for one day of relief? Why would I get rid of everything I've worked so hard for? You know, that's like a waste to me. So those are my coping skills. Now I'm trying to start doing some different things like exercising and walking as coping skills because I'm trying to incorporate new habits into my life that will help me to lose my weight because that's one of the things that I'm very, very depressed about, and I'm struggling a lot, and I've been struggling for a while with this. I just haven't ever been serious about it. And now I'm actually serious about seeking help and getting professional help for my weight, where I'm talking about and processing everything. Yes. Yes. And also, you guys, my child is a huge motivator for me. Like, Honestly, I love my son more than anything, and I do not want to risk my son. Like, he's more important to me than anything. And so I'm not going to give up my fucking sobriety and throw away my life because my son, he will be the victim of that, you know? Also, like, hey, one, thank you. Also, I've just recently started to like actually get like paid I've been actually like getting opportunities because of my sobriety and my platform. And so like I don't want to throw away all these opportunities that I'm starting to get um, because of my recovery and the platforms that I've built. So I'm working hard, I don't want to just throw that shit away. I have a speaking engagement on September 26th or 27th, I think, and I'm going to be speaking on a panel for Recovery Month, and it's actually a paid speaking engagement. I've never been paid to speak anywhere, y'all, ever. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Um, then I have my job that I'm doing with self recovery, helping share their courses and working with them. That's an opportunity that I just got. I've never had these opportunities before. And let me just tell you guys something. Listen to me. This is what makes me so mad when people like try to say stuff like, it's not about the money. It's not about listen to me, okay? I have worked for the last 5 years for nothing. Okay? I've worked my way up to deserve to have something, you know? I didn't just come on the scene and expect for people to pave my way for me. I single handedly built my platforms off of blood, sweat, and tears and live streaming every single day. Every day. Every single day. Thank you, one. Hey, Mark. I've never been this big. Yes, Marcella, same. Hey, girl, what's up? Um, like it's not something that just happened by accident. Like I have worked really hard to get to where I'm at, and so I see people making comments on my TikTok. Someone commented, and they're like, um, "You just want to make a business out of this." Yeah, that's the whole goal is to eventually get to a point where I don't have to work and I can do this as my job. That's the point. That's the whole goal. When I started my YouTube channel, I remember telling my husband, one day I'll be able to work from home and do this. And I'm already working from home, but I don't get to, it's not just because of this, it's because I work with Dr. B. But it's so crazy to me how like people will sit there and actually watch me from like zero to where I'm at now and then act as if like it's a big deal that I'm actually getting compensation for what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like we are in the day and age, you guys, where everything is on social media, you know? And so everything is on social media. I could probably reach out to Jeffree Star and say, Jeffree Star, I use your mirror every day in my videos. Can I get a sponsorship? Can I get 50 cents or something? It's just it's the day and age of social media. And so, anyways, I don't know why I'm talking about that. Anyway, that's another reason why how I cope is I look at how far I've come. I look at all I've created. I look at all I've built. And I'm like, I don't want to throw this away. Then I also think about you guys. I think about what would they do if I had to come here and say, hey guys, I fell off. How would they feel? Would they feel alone? Would they feel abandoned? Would they feel like I turned my back on them? You know what I mean? Um, It is a whole other job. Marcella, thank you for saying that. It is a whole other job Please, please, y'all understand that. Sometimes I think people think it's a joke or something. I want you guys to understand something. I answer the phones for Dr. B, and it is literally from the time I wake up in the morning to the time I go to bed. There's seldom a time where I'm not answering the phone. You know what I mean? Mark, that's okay. Um, and that's a full-time job, answering the phones for him, and staying connected with him and making sure all the stuff is right for him. That's a full-time job in itself. And so anyway, um, because I've worked so hard, you guys, that also is a way that I look at my life, and I'm like, I don't want to throw away my sobriety. I don't want to lose what I've worked so hard for. you know Hey, Misty. I guess who called? Guess who texted me? Y'all, guess who texted me? So, for those of you guys that have been with me for a really long time, you'll know that I had a girl who was my best friend, and her name was Cindy Briggs. And me and Cindy Briggs, she lives in Texas, I live here in Arkansas. But we would talk on the phone, and we just really clicked. We were a lot alike. Well, she got mad at me last year or a couple months ago or something, and she stopped being my friend. She actually texted me and said some really mean stuff about my sobriety, told me that, just telling me some mean stuff. And then she said she didn't want to be my friend anymore. So I said okay, and I blocked her number, and I was like, whatever, I went on with my life, right? Well, I'll be damned. I was on Dr. B's live last night modding it, and she came in and said, I texted you. So I went on my phone and I unblocked her, and she texted me and made amends and apologized. And so I was like, holy shit, that takes a lot of guts to go back and apologize to somebody, you know? And so I reached out to her and I told her I totally accept your apology and I love you. And I was so upset that you didn't want to be my friend, because here's the things, you guys. Like, I will make friends here. I make friends that I help online. And I sometimes forget that I'm working with people who are vulnerable and sick, right? And so sometimes when I make friends, I get burned a lot, a lot. Okay. And so when she stopped being my friend, I was so hurt, man, because she was like, Cindy's been sober for way longer than me, and she was just somebody that I got along with. We both liked makeup. I mean, we were just got along really good. And when she stopped being my friend, I was really, really hurt. So I'm so happy that she's my friend again, and that we're going to be hanging out and talking more, and that she's going to be hanging out with us here on Real Talk Recovery. I'm really, really glad. But she just, I mean, that's what real recovery is about. Like, seeing that you made a mistake and making it right, you know? So I'm really, really happy, you guys, really happy. Now, there's a couple of people who kind of burnt me too last year, but I don't think I'll ever hear from them ever again. And one is a younger girl that actually is from my hometown. And I don't think I'll ever talk to her again. I don't know what happened with her or what was going on with her in her life, but she just started attacking me out of nowhere. So I don't think she'll ever come around. I don't know if it was because her and her man were struggling or what, but that was a bad situation. But Cindy, I'm so glad. Like, Cindy is a relationship worth rekindling and saving. Like, she was a good fucking friend. She had my back no matter what. Hey, Pixie, what's up? Oh, you can ask questions, Pixie. You can ask questions. I don't mind. Um, I don't mind at all, honey. Okay? And I've made a couple of new friends from TikTok, that are in my recovery chat group. Ashley and Tasha and Candy's an OG. Um, but there's a bunch of you guys in there that I'm getting to know, and I'm like, I really like you guys a lot. But what happens is I get to know people and we come close, or, they join and they do stuff with me. Hey, Melysa. And then they they get upset with me or they feel some type of way and then they leave, you know? Thank you, Pixie. I just want people to understand, like, I always will be here to support you. And if you ever feel like, oh, Nichole hasn't been paying attention to me or Nichole doesn't like me, that's not true. You just have to reach out to me because I have so many people that I talk to every single day. Okay? And so if you are feeling like, oh, well, Nichole doesn't, she didn't talk to me today on the live stream or she didn't recognize me on the live stream, right? It's not anything personal. You have to come to me and talk to me. Sorry, my feet are peeling from this foot mask I put on it. You have to come to me and talk to me. You cannot, I cannot read your mind and I cannot guess. I promise you that I'm not mad at you. There's never going to be anything for me to be mad at you about unless you're going behind my back and like talking mad shit about me or something, you know? But sometimes people feel like I don't pay them attention and stuff, you know? Hey Sunny, what's up? How are you doing? That's never the case though, you guys. I just with my job and everything that I've been doing, I get so many phone calls and I talk to so many people every single day that sometimes I just want to get off the phone and be as far away from it as possible. So always remember that if you come on a live and I like don't greet you or don't say anything, it's not anything against you. I'm probably just tired that day or something, you know? Um, but yeah. I thank you, Sunny. We have to get together and do something sometime. I'm so happy you came in here. Did you hear about Rockin' Roberta? I was, although even though me and Rockin' Roberta weren't on the best of terms, that was just so sad. I was really sad to hear about that happened, and I also want. I hope her cat. Honestly, like I really was like, oh my god, I hope Milo is okay. You know what I mean? That cat, and I really did care about her. Like, even though she was mad at me, I cared about her well being, and I hope that she's okay. Hey, Brian. She passed away in a tragic fire, an accident. She had been working on her little, like she had a little townhouse, and she was like doing all kinds of construction on it. She had moved out to Arizona. She was doing all kinds of construction on this new house that she was living in. And honestly, I think something just happened with the wires and it was a house fire and I think she died from being in there in the smoke and everything. So, love you too, Sunny. Sorry about that, you guys. That was Dr. B. And I was like, hold on a second. What's Dr. B calling for? Um, yes, yes. So that was RIP though. RIP. Bye, Mark. Um, so yeah, that happened. Um, I think a couple of months, like maybe a month or two ago. It's recent. It just happened recently, like in July or August. So yes, yes. And here's the thing, you guys, like, um, working and helping people in recovery, you guys know we see so many people that pass away from the disease of addiction. I'm grateful that she didn't die from the disease. I'm grateful that she was sober and she got to be with her mom and her family and she was doing really good in her life. So, I mean, although it was a tragic accident, like she had gotten her life together and she